Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Okay, probably another 6 hours in the oven. So this should be well and truly drying now. I only did the white punk fungus for another, I think it was 2 hours. I think it was already pretty dry, but yeah, I did it a little bit longer. Let's see how we go. Try it first. Now, normally don't have to fluff it up or anything. See, it's pretty spongy still, which is a good sign. Very good sign that it's retained its sponginess. It's not the right angle. Couple of strokes. It's pretty successful. I've got my white punk fungus working. Couple of strokes. It just wasn't dry enough, and I was playing silly buggers with it. It smells beautiful, and it's working like a champ. It's dry now, and it's working. Very happy with that. I've got all my white punk fungus that I had in soaking. I'm going to pull it out in 3 days and then dry it out in the oven, and it'll work like that. Try another bit just to be sure. Still a little bit anecdotal. Just fluffing it up a little bit. Yeah, it's still fluffy. Yeah, it's nice. It's beautiful. I actually like the yellow colour. Couple of strokes. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's working. It's working like a champ. No dramas. Yellow punk fungus. That's what I'm going to call it, because it's not white punk fungus anymore, it's yellow. You can see the spore tubes. There's the spore tubes. And there's the meat. So this is the top. There are the spore tubes of the fungus. So there's all the spore tubes. I'm driving it into this stuff here. Spore tubes don't seem to worry it. Just don't like using the cortex part. Yep. It just wasn't dry enough. That's all it was. It's me being silly buggers. It's usually is what it is. I can't remember. I think it was that piece that I was having trouble with last time. Let's see if I can get it to go. That does smell a little bit more obnoxious. Oh, I thought that was going to go then. It did start smoking. This piece is a hard bit. Just the wrong shape. Could be just this bit too. You do sometimes have, as Jason said, you do sometimes have just problematic pieces that just won't pick a spark up. And it could be just that too. No, it did go. I would call that a success. It's dry. It's just that piece was just a little bit more problematic than the others. It's a very hard piece, but that's solid wood. But it's not too bad. Probably should let it burn out, because that is a bugger of a piece. Just trying all bits and pieces just so that that's a bit being ambitious. Doesn't look like it's very conductive to taking a spark. Some of these are just hard bits of wood too. Like they're actually bits of wood, not very punky. I am wearing myself out doing this. I think that one might be that could have been this piece, the hard piece. It's a hard bit that I couldn't get going before. Just burning my stone out. I'm getting it leaning all over it. I will call it, but that is a success. This piece might just be problematic. There's no giving it at all. That's a hard bit of... See, some bits are very hard, but for most part, I can get most of that to work. I could get that one to work, I reckon. I reckon I could drive sparks into that one. And get it to work. You've got to be able to do it with any bit you pick up. Otherwise it's not successful. I should have maybe left it because it was working, but it wasn't as successful as the other lot. That white punk is working fantastically. See, I'm not preparing it at all. I'm just driving sparks into it. Maybe just being too ambitious. I know it's burning my hands. Stone to use. That's the problem with this punk fungus. This punk wood. It's not the easiest stuff to hold on to on the rock. Yeah, it's going. It is viable. You just have to fool around with it. That other stuff's a lot easier to use, but this stuff is it is dry and it is viable. I knew I could smell it. Success. So, as I said with all of this, when you think it's dry enough, dry it out a bit more and just go with it. What part? I think that one was the one I couldn't get going. Ember transfer. straight away. So it is viable. It'll work great with solar. So, as with everything, as I said with this, if you think it's dry it out a little bit longer. And then, or if it's not working, dry it out a bit more. Because that's the problem I have. I think it's dry, and then I have problems with it. Dry it out a bit longer, and it works. It starts working. Because I did this for another 6 hours, and as you saw, I'm getting consistent results, just making me work a little bit harder. Not as good as the first batch, but still consistently taking a spark. So yeah, just have to work a little bit harder. But that being said, every one of my kits has solar. So like on days like this, I've got sun. 85% of the time there is a bit of cloud, but as soon as those clouds disappear, sun comes out. If I couldn't get a spark to catch, or I was having a little bit of trouble, bang up solar. It'd only take half a second to get with a Fresnel lens. One of my big sheet Fresnel lenses would get any of that stuff going. No dramas whatsoever, even the problematic stuff. But the first batch, didn't matter which one I pick, and I've done it many times now. It goes without a problem, and I am very happy with that. Turned non-sparking white punk into will take a spark consistently. So yeah, very, very pleased with that result. Yeah, just wanted to update that, and yeah, just more on the journey. Yeah, I am getting good results from this. As I said, I've got this all of my white punk. My missus said it's still growing, but we're going to leave it grow a little bit longer. I might actually go down and have a look at it tomorrow and see what it's like, see how big it is. If it's a reasonable size, I might pick it. I might put this in the oven for another hour. Just dry it out a little bit longer. Just to see if I can just drive the little bit more moisture out of it. Although this is hard. But yeah, the other stuff was like that too, so yeah. No, I think that's it's pretty good. It's not too bad. Just have to work a little bit harder, yeah, which I don't mind. I don't mind doing a little bit of hard work when I have to. Yeah, and as soon as I dry out this stuff, get this stuff working in a couple of days' time, I'll show you the results. Anyway, thanks for watching.